Okay. Fucking candle. Oh, learn how to spell, asshole. Download. Afternoon, people. Afternoon. Happy Sunday afternoon to you. I keep forgetting it's Sunday. I keep thinking you guys are like on your way home from work and shit right now. But that's not the case, is it? Come on, tell me none of that fucking talk. You filthy, filthy, vile motherfucker. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi back at you. Okay, that took. Good. Let's turn that on. And let's go. Any hoodles, what's everybody doing on a Sunday afternoon? Fan from Canada, man. We hate the orange scrotum also. Thank you. Appreciate my Canadian brothers and sisters, as always. Good night. Are you going to bed? Hello back at you. How many came through? 16. 5, 10, 15. Chilling, smoking, watching the birds at the feeder. We have many a bird outside. I know the feeders are being ravaged as I speak. 24. AK 311, 3.8. 8K 311. 10 4, 434, 4.1. Nice. Nice. Okay. It's 10:04 PM where you live? Damn, it's 4:05 here. Going to a friend's going away party in a couple of hours. We'll have fun. Anybody in New York City in the crowd? Al Crow, hello. I'm looking for a reliable car service out of LaGuardia. Anybody got good car service out of LaGuardia? Boom, close that. Boom, close that. Open a new one here. Kansas City, Missouri. How you doing? Just wondering how Trump's birthday is going. I don't know. We're not paying attention to it. I once drank alcohol by accident because I found vodka in the fridge and I thought it was juice, and I was 5 when it happened. Okay, you're obviously still dealing with that, right? You're like fucking still here. LaGuardia Airport car service. Good to see you too. What is this? A spicy production? We're not talking about like Zach and Mary make a porno or anything like that. Are we? Food Channel. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not watching any fight. Why will I be at the airport? I'm flying into LaGuardia in a little about a month, a little under a month for a couple of days. I'll be in I will be in Manhattan for a couple of days. Hope your day is going swell and you're staying cool during these hot times. It's actually quite chilly here by us today. Chilly being a relative term, it dipped down into the upper 60s with overcast and a nice breeze. So we've got the house opened up. Did you see the drunk UFC fighter spitting on him? Yeah, I did. It's an absolute fucking embarrassment what we've got going on in our nation's capital. Absolute fucking embarrassment. It's been a hot minute since I've been in New York City, but we're going to go in for my wife, daughter, and nephew to see Bon Jovi at Madison Square Garden. The 20. Thank you very much for the $10 tip. Tom, what is your opinion on getting drunk on Sunday if you work from home on Monday? Fucking let it rip. I don't give a shit if you work away from home on Monday. If you want to get drunk on a Sunday and that's your day off, then fucking hammer it. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're flying into New York City on a Tuesday, Monday. Monday. We've got a surprise planned for our nephew that night. The next day, we're going to go down to Battery Park. We're taking a ferry. I already bought the tickets out to see Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island because even though I've been to New York City before, I've not done that. Come back. We're going to have some grub, and then Renee, Lily, and our nephew shoot down to Madison Square Garden and see Bon Jovi's first show since 2022. and then the next morning we fly out of LaGuardia. So I'm going to have some moments while Renee, Lily, and our nephew are at the surprise thing the first night, and at Bon Jovi the next night, where I'm going to be by myself in New York City for a few hours. Um, so we're staying in a hotel just off of Times Square. Might do some Times Square content. I'm going to be a mere few blocks away from the Trump Tower or Central Park. Only a couple of blocks away from a few blocks away from the Empire State Building. So I have options to keep myself busy in the Big Apple while they're enjoying entertainment. I'm merely going as sort of like a guide, a you know, my wife and I travel well together. Are the hotels expensive there? Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But you know something? It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and you got to make it a once in a lifetime experience. So once in a lifetime experiences are not going to come if we stay at some hotel in Jersey and spend $150 a day Ubering in to the places we need to go. So, no, I have never been in Yellowstone. You look like Santa. Well, that is because I am Santifa, his his liberal blue state cousin. Or you can refer to me as your favorite online skunkle. You can't call me grandpa because that's reserved for three individuals and only three individuals so far. Can I imagine living in New York City? Once upon a time, yeah. I'm scared more of the tourist than the animals. Skunkle. I'm your uncle that always smells like a skunk. That little fan works well. You are relight. Yeah, I put them. I snuff them out. Take a couple of hits. I snuff them out, and then I relight them. They're not pre rolls though. I These are cones that I pack. All hail King Trump. Aw, how you doing, princess? Did Daddy tell you you can go online today? Sherry, hello. Have I ever been to Western Washington State? Is that what you're asking me? Western Washington State? Yes. Seattle? It always fucks with my head when the goddamn computer goes black. I wanted to look at these numbers. Triple Crown wins the poll today. Today's poll was of the choices provided, which is the more impressive sports feat? Winning horse races racing's triple crown, winning golf's grand slam, winning the tennis grand slam, or capturing the triple crown of motorsports. And 46% of you responded with winning horse racing's triple crown. What did I miss here? Imagine thinking Trump is the second coming of Jesus. Imagine thinking Trump is anything more than the bucket of liquefied rhinoceros shit that he actually is. Without his daddy's money, that motherfucker is selling hot dogs out of a cart in Times Square. And that's if he's fucking lucky. Not that there's anything wrong with it. My point being is they all portray him as some fucking superhuman guy. He's not. He's not. He can't even make a marriage work. He bankrupted a casino. You know what? 5 casinos. You wanna know how fucking bad of a dipshit you have to be to bankrupt a casino, let alone 5 casinos? I mean, the entire business premise is, "Come in here and give me your money," and people flock through the front door. Trump is your daddy, you liberal scum. Say hi to mom for me, Rob. She wants me to yell the same thing in bed. It's kinda weird that you guys say the exact same phrases. Got a daddy kink though, huh? Is that what it is? It's okay. You can be you here. You can be you here. You can talk about your daddy kink. You can talk about whatever it is you got going on at home. It's okay. This is a safe nest for you. Okay? Okay. But seriously, say hi to mom. Do 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 do. Oh, I did forget to throw him a kiss. It's okay. We'll make up for it later on. You got a thing for mailboxes. Okay. Have the day you voted for available in the merch store, baby. I know it's backwards here, but available in t-shirt, hoodie, baseball cap, knit hat, coffee mug. Have the day you voted for. Hit the link in the bio or in any description of any video. How's them gas prices, Rob? Ready for them to get higher? Are you winning hard enough? Did you see Mitch McConnell was taken to the hospital again? No, I did not see that, but it doesn't surprise me. That dude's hanging on by a fucking thread. I thought you'd be an elephant. Why a skunk? Because of the smell of the weed. Did that need to be explained? You look like you're 98 years old. Okay. I blame McConnell for all of this, a large part of it. Well, thank you very much, Wash. But weed don't stink. That'll be your little secret. Did anybody say what Mitch McConnell got taken to the hospital for this time around? MAGA can never spell your. Now they have a very MAGA has a very hard time with your, and they also have a hard time with two and two. Um, it's really odd considering how much they demand other people speak language, the English language, and then they can't speak it themselves. They said McConnell is getting excellent care. Hmm. I don't think Grammarly can help these haters. I can't understand not a damn thing they're saying. Trump is going on 80 and Mitch is 84. Sad that MAGA is selectively against antiques in office. That would no, MAGA would be in favor of antiques in office. Happy Obama Day. Yes. Oh, there and there. Really fuck them up. Really fuck them up. If you have two there and your in a single sentence, it's going to put their fucking brains on like a hamster wheel that they can't get off. The problem is that probably whoever replaces McConnell will probably be worse. Worse than McConnell is a very difficult task. Younger, for sure. Worse than McConnell is a that's a hard benchmark to breach. I live right here in Cincinnati, and trust me, Kentucky is off the train. The only one I could see that they can put in there is the governor, Andy Shear. Newsflash: McConnell's already been replaced. Dumb shit. He's still in office right now. Dumb shit. Fucking morons. Oh my god. It's like a mom gave their 4-year-old or their 5-year-old the phone to play with to keep them busy for a little while. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, but he blocked Obama's bitch ass from putting a Supreme Court. Bye. You've been muted. You can still type. You can still boost the live, but we can't see what you're saying. Do you want to know why we can't see what you're saying? Because you're too fucking stupid to be here. You're not intelligent enough to have these conversations. And I grew tired of you. So fuck off. Everybody say goodbye to Mike. You know what to do. Ba-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na, na-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Mwah. Na-na-na-na-na. How fast things have gotten so deteriorated. Yes, they have rapidly. Hi, Tom. Bye, Mike. Yeah, it's been a minute since the Bulls won one. Oh, it's been a minute. Deteriorated is a hard word to type when stoned. I can imagine. I can't specifically recall an instance where I had to type the word deteriorated while elevated, but I'm sure it's happened at some point in time. Time to partake. Do I have any future predictions for the US? No, no. No, 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 no. There is no possible way to make predictions in the era of Trump. Literally anything could happen at any point in time. Like, I'm being very serious when I say this. Would you even remotely be surprised if a news flash came across your phone right now that we nuked a city in Iran? Like, would you be like, "Oh, I never thought in a million years he would do that." Like, you'd be horrified, you'd be terrified. We'd all be like, "Fuck, what do we do now?" But would you be surprised? No, you wouldn't be. Literally anything can happen on any fucking at any on any day at any point in time with this motherfucker. So you can't really make predictions because there's no way of predicting what a madman will do. Obama, that's the guy who droned, bombed, and killed more innocent people in history of the USA. Certainly a shit ton. I don't know if it's the most in the history of the United States of America, and that has what to do with the subject at hand. Trump wants to use a nuke badly. I think that Alcro might have gotten like a word of the day calendar, and they're just sitting there just ripping fucking pages off. Strategery. If Trump passes, do you think Till get even worse with Vance in office? If Trump were to die soon, JD Vance would calm all of this shit down. You'd still get really bad policy out of the White House, but all of the weird shit would calm down. Just making it up. Oh, so you're just on the fly, just out there higher than eagle titties pulling George W. Bushes out of the fucking woodwork. Seldom is it asked, is our children learning? Your TDS is pathetic. Another loser who made a YouTube career on Trump's name, image, and algorithm. Bye. Why do you hang out in the live events of people that you hate? I mean, and it's like a whack-a-mole game. You just be like, "Hey, look at me, I'm a dumbass," and then we go, "Okay." Do you think we should have the option to reconstruct our own benefits than the government? Huh? Obama had to openly admit his drone strike percentages. Trump removed the stipulations and more drone strikes in Obama in 8 years. Too much, man. I can't take this. Oh, okay. I thought there was somebody at the door. Oh, the fucking technology. Now, if somebody walks past your fucking door, it comes to your phone. Hey, got cameras on the house because people are fucking crazy. And I mean crazy. You haven't lived until some fucking lunatic from Texas calls you up and the text calls you up in the middle of the fucking night because he found your cell phone. He's drunk as a fucking skunk and he wants to try and intimidate you. So he calls you in the middle of the night to tell you he's coming to Chicago to unalive you and your entire fucking family. Or when you get a message from somebody that says that they left a bomb on your porch, rattles off your address, and then tells you to have your daughter, calls her out by name, go get it. So you got to have things like cameras and ways to defend yourself. Where is Pac? Where's he? Pacman? David Pacman? Where's he originally from? Ricardo. Thank you very much. Where do the MAGA trolls come from? Well, originally from their mother. Now I don't know how much that particular aspect of their being influenced the dumb fuckery that exists in that lump 3 feet above their ass. But I'm going to bet that to a certain degree, genetics plays a role. You know, when your family tree doesn't fork at any point in time, you might have some things going on that you're going to deal with that a majority of the population might not have to deal with. You understand? If your daddy went looking for a date at the family reunion and found your mommy, chances are dad's going to be walking you to school when you're in the fifth grade, not because he loves you, but because the two of you are in the same fucking class. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, if your mom has ever had to yell, if I could quote the blue collar comedy tour, if your mom has ever had to yell, "Come move this transmission so I could take a bath," there's a possibility that there might be a little something going on here with you. You grow up years later, and it's not surprising that you're rocking a red hat, thinking that Jewish space lasers lit California on fire and that Hillary Clinton eats babies in a non existent basement of a New Jersey pizza parlor. Next thing you know, you're gathered with a few hundred other like minded dipshits in the heart of Texas awaiting John F. Kennedy's return, despite the fact that we all saw the inside of his head. Where do they come from? They come from their mother's hoo-has and their father's testicles, and it is an evil concoction. Hang on. Pakistan says Iran and America, the United States, have reached a peace deal. I want you to keep in mind that in the 14 weeks that this war has been going on, Donald Trump has said that we are going to have a peace deal 39 times. Why was my post removed? What post are you talking about? A helicopter crash happened in Brazil. Had a guy from Texas tell me he was going to come to my job multiple states away and shoot me. I worked in a building that was all glass and had a corner office where I could see out of the parking. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm being shadow banned. I don't know. I saw that. How convenient, right before the market opens tomorrow, right? David's from Argentina. I don't think that's a thing unless he also bought in a load of Somalians. Helicopter crash killed a musician. Signed on Trump's birthday. Go figure. Wasn't he supposed to sign the peace deal today? LOL. Go Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. How'd she get sneak her way into the fucking conversation? You know what Nancy Pelosi needs to do? Nancy Pelosi needs to go back to San Francisco and count her fucking millions. Stay the fuck out of our Congress. That's what Nancy Pelosi needs to do. So does Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Chuck Grassley, Barbara Boxer, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Angus King, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. Anybody that's from the baby boom generation or older needs to never be in fucking office again. Several members of my generation, Gen X, should not be in office. This world needs to be handed over to the people who it belongs to now, which are the millennials and the Gen Zers. That's what needs to happen. Right on, crafting. Argentina. My bad. Sorry. I saw people saying Argentina. I did not know he was originally from Argentina. Well, yeah, then they might, I mean, this administration's a motherfucker. They're trying to figure out ways of stripping the citizenship of people that were fucking born here. They got no problem doing it to somebody that wasn't born here. Ugh, fucking, I don't care, Chris. I don't need any representation for people who won't live to see the effects of their work. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think that we need to put okay, this is what I think needs to happen to Congress. Unfortunately, Congress is the one that needs to make this happen unless we can figure out a way to get it done with a national referendum. But what needs to happen to Congress is we need to put an age limit, not term limits. Just wait before you start typing term limits. An age limit. And I think 65 is an appropriate age limit. You're 65, you can't serve no more. I don't give a shit if you got elected to your first term at age 64. You got one fucking year, homie, and then you're out. That's how that works. Then we need a regulatory and reform bill that says, among other things, if you're running for the Senate, you can't collect any money from outside of your state. And if you're running for the House, you can't collect any money from outside of your district. You can only collect personal donations that are capped at a certain dollar amount. Don't ask me what that is. That's got to be left up to people smarter than me. But you don't get any corporate money and you don't get any organizational money. So that means no Koch brothers money and that means no teachers union money. None of that shit flies. Every single bill that is to be passed by both chambers of Congress need to be standalone bills. If you are voting to fund the military and it's that fucking thick, then that's what you're funding. But you're not slipping a fucking a bridge naming in there. If you want to vote on naming a bridge, that's a completely separate thing. That's a one-page standalone. Every bill needs to be made public, obviously, for people to be able to review. If the Congress is trying to vote on something that directly affects them, sort of like they get a pay raise, they don't get to do that. That goes to a national referendum. They work for us, not the other way around. I've owned multiple businesses, and not once has one of the people that worked for me been able to walk through that fucking door and go, "Hey, man, here's what I'm getting paid now because I took a vote and I figured that this is what I should get paid now." No, and I don't want to hear about how it's expensive for them to live in Washington D.C. and back in their districts, so that they need to raise money constantly. No, we're going to build them a state of the art sort of like condo building in Washington D.C. That's where you stay when you're there. We'll even give you all the amenities. We'll have a pool and a fucking bellboy and maybe a restaurant inside, all the gym, all of it. But that's where you fucking stay when you're in Washington D.C. And I don't want to hear about travel days. You work 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Travel on Friday fucking night. I don't care how far away you are. Oh, by the way, you are fucking banned from owning stocks for the duration of the time that you're in Congress, whether you're in the House of Representatives or the Senate. You are banned from owning stocks. You are banned from owning a business. You are serving the people, and you are banned from owning stocks 5 years after you're out. Every single state needs to have their districts drawn by a nonpartisan commission of some way, in some way, shape, or form. What Virginia has had for years is really works well, but no more does it go to the states to do this. Um, I mean, if I had my way, we would also completely reform the way the Senate is seated and the number of Senate seats, but that's a conversation for another time. What we need to do is rein these fuckers in. And I think that if you take away the major financial incentive for them to do this, and you strip it down to the point where it truly is a people have to serve their constituents type of job, then you don't want term limits because you're going to find the people that are going to go into it because they really want to fucking do it. And like I said before, I'm not going to go to my mechanic and go, "You've been my mechanic for 20 years. I got to find a new one." I don't want a career mechanic. Well, I want a career politician. I just want a good career politician. Obviously, electing actors hasn't fucking worked. I'm sure I'm missing some things in there, but that's what needs to happen to Congress. It's not going to because Congress needs to be the one to actually enact that, which is a goddamn shame. Um, Oh, by the way, if the government were to shut down at any point in time, the very first people that stop getting their paychecks and their benefits get seized or paused are members of Congress. If you can't keep our government open with our money and acting on our behalf as our elected representatives, then you don't get fucking paid. Period. Blissfully High. That'd make a good band name, or at least an album name. Excuse me. You're allergic to the USA? Oh, the Supreme Court needs to be expanded and heavily regulated. Yeah, you're allergic to people. So I was supposedly, this is what I was told, allergic to damn near everything as a child. First things first, I was born with my feet facing straight out, so I had to have this device that went from my waist down my legs to keep my legs straight. Yes, something similar to what Forrest Gump had, but no, not the same thing. Until my feet came back in. Then they said I was allergic to penicillin, but just they told everybody in the 70s they were allergic to penicillin. Who the fuck knows, right? But I was allergic to milk, chocolate, grass, trees, pet hair, and I have obviously over and I remember being all fucked up and shit as a kid, with the allergies and shit. And I don't know what the fuck they did to me. I don't know why the fuck they did it, but I remember going to Dr. Solomon's office when I was a little kid. And so, I mean, really little. My parents were still married. So that pre 8 years old, and this is when I was a toddler. And they would give me shots in my back. I fucking hated that shit. And I don't know what it was they were doing. I don't know what it was they were sticking in me. But I have obviously since outgrown the pet hair thing. I've got 5 cats and a dog. I outgrew the grass and tree thing. I was a landscape contractor for 26 years. I outgrew the milk and the chocolate thing. I drink milk like it's going out of fucking style. I still avoid bee stings and penicillin because I don't fucking know. So I just tell the doctors that's what they said. I go, but I was born in 72. They told everybody that was born in 72 that you're allergic to fucking penicillin. What is this? Oh, I'm missing entire conversations in there between y'all. Shots in general are terrifying. Yeah, yeah. Dr. Solomon's office. Holy shit. Fucking hated that place. Fucking hated that place. You switch. Well, there is no soy milk because there's no soy titty. You drink soy juice, my friend. I can't do blue cheese. Oh, mm-mm. No, can't do it. Sorry. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Yes, you. Oh, hang on a second. Make a law that they have to meet with their constituents at least once a quarter. Fucking make it more often than that. Goddamn it. But yeah, you have to have outreach in your community with your constituents. You have to. Soy milk is just regular milk introducing itself in Spanish. Hola, soy milk. Goat cheese? No, I have never heard the scream an almond makes when it gets milked, and I don't think I wanna hear it because that's something that I don't believe ever leaves you. You know what I mean? That's in there. Happy Obama Appreciation Day back to you, Dan. If you can eat blue cheese, you are not allergic to penicillin. I don't know if anything bad would happen to me if I eat blue cheese. All I know is that I would fucking throw up all over the goddamn table. because that shit's nasty. No, I don't do blue cheese dressing. If I'm having wings, um, I prefer if I'm having wings that they're naked and I have a few different sauces, preferably like a barbecue, a traditional hot, buffalo hot, maybe like a teriyaki or a Caribbean jerk, and I kind of mix it up. If it's straight buffalo wings that have already had buffalo sauce put on them, just bring me another bowl of the buffalo sauce and I'll dip it in that. Flag Day. It is Flag Day as well. Blue cheese tastes like Satan's ass, says Chris. Yes. Yeah. On like a hot fucking day too. You know, the kind of day where you're out like doing stuff and you know you're gonna take a shower later on, but you right now you can kind of feel all of that fucking lubrication happening all over in bits of your body. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you were to reach down and get into one of them crevices and give yourself a fucking scratch down there where the leg meets the hip, you know what I'm talking about? You're gonna come away with a scent. Yeah, one of those fucking days. A lot of people like blue cheese in here. Primat, hello. Swamp ass, otherwise known as swass. No, I can't do blue cheese. I can't do any of that. Breaking. Trump says U.S. Iran deal is complete. Prime Minister of Pakistan says U.S. Iran deal complete. How many days? How many days is this deal going to last? Or is this done? Are we done? I don't like beer either. How does he know how Satan's ass tastes? Don't ask questions you don't want the answers to. In 2 days, the Iranians will announce there was never a deal. That has been something that's happened over and over and over again, so it wouldn't really be surprising. It would be surprising that the Prime Minister of Pakistan is also announcing it. Do I tolerate? I love spicy stuff. I love spicy stuff. Big old bowl of fucking jambalaya with fucking some of that on top of there. Oh, yeah, I like spicy stuff. Wouldn't ask if I didn't want to know. I'm telling you, you don't want to know. This came from the Pakistani minister announced. Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's the only additional step we have this time that makes me think we might actually have something. Trump is desperate, and in 3 days, Iran will release a funny video about Trump's birthday party getting tornadoes. I want to know what the details of the deal are. How many hundreds of billions of dollars are we unfreezing of Iranian assets? Because I remember when Obama unfroze $3 billion of Iranian assets, they lost their ever loving fucking minds. I don't do the crawfish. I'm not a crawfish guy. Like if we go to one of them places where you get like the boil in the bag type of deal, I'll have shrimp in there, If the place offers scallops, I'll have scallops in there. Otherwise, it's going to be heavy on the sausage with the other stuff, obviously the corn on the cob and shit like that. But I do dig shrimp and scallops. I don't do lobster. I don't do anything. Shrimp, scallops, tuna. That's everything that I eat out of the sea. You can keep asking, and I'm not saying that I'm talking to the guys now, but people that are still thinking about asking other questions. You can ask all the questions you want out of the water. That's the list: tuna, shrimp, scallops. Nope, no crab, no lobster, no none of it. Capitol Hill, right on. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday for the guest I have on Wednesday. I have Joe from Unlearned 16 on Wednesday night. What are we talking about? The proper pull cord installed tension on a Bickford 9000 pull start home generator. Fucking love beignets. I fucking love beignets. I fucking love hush puppies. And I fucking love jambalaya. And I fucking love gumbo. Cow cud soup. No, I have not. But I do dig the various types of food that we've had while down in Jamaica. Mm. 14.6 Newton meters. Ding, 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 ding. Gutter, tell him what he's won. Best struggle meal. So I guess there are a couple of different levels of struggle meal. So like when Renee and I were first together, living together, our struggle meal was just regular old package of smoked sausage and a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese. That dinner filled you up. When I was on my own, a struggle meal would consist of like I got no money for fucking food, but I got this in the house. I can't go out and get like a beef sandwich or anything like that, but I got this in the house. Half a loaf of bread and a cereal bowl. You pour some open pit barbecue sauce in there, and you just dip and eat and dip and eat, and that bread just fills your fucking stomach up. Or a package of ramen or a box of rice roni, the flavored rice roni like chicken and whatever. You know what I mean? Those were the struggle meals back in the day. Ate a lot of ramen, but also ate a lot. Those under a buck rice roni flavored rice packages. It makes a shit ton of rice, and you sit there with some bread. You have yourself some rice sandwiches. You know what I mean? Could never really get into Hamburger Helper. Amen, Mitchell. My most luxurious meal? I guess I would ask you to define luxurious. Anything can be turned into a sandwich. Exactly. Shake and bake. Now that was the shit back in the day. Shake and bake. They still have shake and bake, and it's a regular size box like you would see like a rice side box, right? And in it is just a couple of packets of seasoning, no bag. You got to provide your own bag. Delicious and expensive. The few times that we've been down to the Village, which is Chicago, the city of Chicago's oldest Italian restaurant, that could run pretty pricey, a few $100, if you're sitting down with your wife and maybe a kid or two. Uh, that can get up there. Um, See, we eat at a lot of restaurants when we're traveling, but they're part of like they're either part of the package that we bought or the resort that we're at or something of that nature. Um, Whenever we do a big party, we have people at then this is probably cheating to a degree. When we have people over at what do you call the Maggiano's? If you got a large group of people, like for my mother-in-law's 70th, it's like we're just gonna rent the fucking room at Maggiano's. It's a nice meal. It's a nice room. You got people serving you and interacting with you, and everything's moving great and wonderful, and it's beautiful setting. That can get expensive. When you got 25 people in a private room at Maggiano's. His name is off the Kennedy Center. Yes. How big was the room? I don't know. We had there was a bar at the end of the room. There was a table of hors d'oeuvres on the side of the room, and then there were 7 or 8 tables with 8 chairs apiece, and maybe. And then you get a couple of salads, 4 or 5 appetizers, a couple of different main dishes. They bring you out. They keep bringing it, so it's a family style served at the various tables. So you get the chicken parm, and you get meatballs, and you get big giant stuffed mushrooms or whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, we dig Texas Roadhouse. I mean, it's just more of a casual, more affordable joint, than some of these other places. Gibson's is always a nice place in town. I've had that a couple of different times in the city, as far as being more on the high end. Uh, Joe's Seafood and Crab, pretty nice place. Well, it is. It's National Barack Obama Appreciation Day, otherwise known as Flag Day. Right? Those are the two primary things that we're celebrating on this day. Denny's, IHOP, sure. Denny's, no. I haven't eaten in an Olive Garden in fucking 30 years. Dixie Truck Stop on 55. Where's Dixie Truck Stop on 55? They announced that there was a deal. Now we got to see what that deal is. No to Denny's ever. Only when my granddaughters are involved because they love Denny's. Then I will go to Denny's. For my granddaughters, we will do Denny's. Poke, I've never had it. Waffle House is an experience. Have I ever traveled outside of the United States? Canada, Mexico, Honduras, Belize, Jamaica, and the Bahamas. How's the birthday going? Yeah, it's really kind of sad that you have to wait for Iran to respond, but that's where we're at. My finest meal was a ribeye with fresh morsels that I picked, cooked in a copper skillet on a campfire. Interesting. Interesting. I don't do anything out of the water other than those few items that I mentioned earlier, and that includes salmon. That was a meal that Renee rather enjoyed. Was the giant Alaskan king crab that we had at one of our stops on our Alaskan cruise. Well, thank you, Underhill. Duck Italian pasta. Walker Brothers? Yeah, right now Mitch is not in the Senate, so he can't vote on anything in the Senate. Lasagna is the one casserole type meal that I can tolerate. I hate casseroles. Like I really don't like casseroles. Um, but I can do lasagna. Of everything in the Italian world, it is down there on the list for me. No, I've never been to Hawaii, but I need to in the coming years. I need to get us to Hawaii in January, February, when the whales that are up in Alaska in August and September are down in Hawaii. We did the whale watching at the end of summer in Alaska, and it was fantastic. And then those whales migrate to Hawaii, and they're down there doing their thing in January, February. So we got to get there for that. What's wrong with casseroles? I think it's everything being combined. I like my shit. This is my meat. This is my potato. You know what I mean? And some things get mixed together, but not fucking everything. It's another reason why I really, 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 really do not like pot pies. I'm welcome anytime. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. What is the most Kentucky thing I've ever seen? That's a damn good question. The full conversion van, you know what I'm talking about? The big conversion van with multiple seats and a couch all the way in the back. The full conversion van right up against the side of the mobile home, and the side of the mobile home cut out, and then everything aluminum sided over or sided over, I vinyl sided over because they were creating an extra room. And I don't give a shit about extra rooms and trailers. I'm just saying it is the most Kentucky thing I've seen. What's your favorite state that you visited? Colorado. Colorado. If we had no family at all in this area and there were no ties, I would look at Renee and go, let's go to Colorado. Let's go live by the mountains. But we have a lot of family and connection here. We are not leaving that family. Colorado is just simply gorgeous. I am going to get off here in just a couple of minutes, though. Just giving everybody a heads up. Shake and bake was a staple of your childhood, right? Wyoming is nice too. Yeah, but Colorado's beautiful and blue. Most of the West is gorgeous. That's the thing. So when Renee and I took the cruise last August, end of August, beginning of September to Alaska, it was gorgeous. Loved it. Renee said that if I told her we were going back to Alaska every year, she'd have absolutely no fucking problem with that. And she got to see true mountains for the first time. And I know from having been to the Rockies that there are mountains in this country that make the mountains in Alaska look like hills in a backyard. And I really would love for her to see those mountains because when you're in Colorado and you're not up in the mountains, but you're in front of the Rocky Mountains. It's like holy fucking shit, man! Look at that. It's mind blowing. It's gorgeous. My grandparents moved to Colorado in the 50s from Springfield, right on. Western Washington. Washington State's gorgeous. Are you over there by Walla Walla, Washington? I live in Vermont now. Being 9,000 feet closer to the sun in the winter makes a difference. I have not been to Utah. Was I in Utah? Elbows up, Canada. Sitka, Alaska. That was one of the stops that we had. So we departed out of Vancouver and we went through the passage and we went to Ketchikan, Sitka, Juneau, Icy Strait Point, and we saw Disenchantment Harbor and the glaciers in there. And then we got off the ship. We disembarked the ship in Seward, Alaska, and then we took a bus. You can take a bus or a train. It's about an hour and a half through some of the most gorgeous country you've ever seen. By the way, up to Anchorage, and then we flew out of Anchorage, and we flew out of Anchorage on Alaska Air. Oh, if Alaska Air could just fly out of O'Hare all the time, that would be fucking fantastic. You want to visit Fraggle Rock? All right, boys and girls. On that note, O'Hare is a big airport, but it's a good airport. I'm going to be flying out of O'Hare a couple more times this year, and I got no problem with that because I like United Airlines. I just like it. Um, the discount airlines done fucked up. Fuck them all. I'm sticking with United. All right, guys. We'll talk to you maybe a little bit later. I don't know.